Welcome to the Sonic Shaman Show, home of the Coffee Connect and Conscious Connections. The show is dedicated to empowering you to perceive, know, be, and express your unique voice in this world without the fear of judgment of others through healing, coaching, and educational services. In each episode, Hank and his guests offer tools, techniques, and inspiration to help you step into your potency. Now, here is your host, Hank Settler.
Welcome to everyone. This is such a special treat to have Joy and to have Tina Marie on with us. She has discovered this new space to operate from for healings, and all this was an inspiration, just her following the energy to help out Joy as she was going through bit of a life event, to say the least. Joy has cheated death many times, and Tina Marie may have been the catalyst factor in her overcoming and cheating death yet again. But why don't I go ahead? I'm just going to let you both introduce yourselves and kind of give your little elevator speech so people can get an idea of who you are as we start to dive into our conversation. And Joy, why don't you go first?
Well, thank you, Hank. Yeah, it's a bit of a different story, but it's equally magical and marvelous. I am Joy. I'm also known as the fairy godmother, wish granter, and cosmic ass kicker.
Cosmic ass kicker. That's a new one. I don't think I remember that one.
No, well, my clients call me the wish granter, and my students call me the cosmic ass kicker, and the TikTok and the festivals I go to call me the fairy godmother. So I love all of them because they're all fun and allow me to play in wondrous ways without too many restricting labels.
Wonderful. And Joy is perhaps most notably known for her ability to combat stress in like 3 minutes or less. And she even has like a video that you can check out on her website. Yes. But I'll give the Cliff Notes version of a story. She was in an accident where even if she got a little bit stressed, it cut off the blood to her brain, and they said she would never make it. And she said, I not only will make it, I'm going to come back and dance on your grave. And she overcame all these things that people said she couldn't do. And here she is with us. And then we have Tina Marie as well. Tina, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? And I put up the Facebook page where people can connect with you, but who are you? Where do you come from? I kind of know you personally for a long time, but what's the elevator? For people who have never heard of you, what would you like the most to know?
Well, I would just like them to know that I just absolutely reside with spirit as much as I can. And I love to send out love and appreciate all things in this reality. And I'm super excited to share with whoever's ready.
Awesome. And if you guys can fill me in on all the details of the story, because I haven't fully heard the whole thing, but Joy was going through like this place of
yes. Yeah. No, that's not where we start the story.
Okay. You tell me, where do we start this story diving into how
Tina starts with you, Hank, because that's how Tina found me.
Okay. Well, I held the space.
Let's let Tina start the story because it's a super cool story. And you've got the wrong end of a few sticks.
Okay. Well, that's why we're doing this, so we can get all the sticks in a row and we can build the framework for what we're going to be discussing, just to give a little prequel to it, a discussion on Lovetopia Falls. That's where we're going. So stay tuned as we kind of build the backstory as to where Tina came to this place. But Tina, where does the story start? Okay. So I connect you and Joy, and what happened?
Okay, so I checked her out, and it happened to be Good Friday that I found her page and connected with her. And then it worked out best that we ended up doing our first session on Easter Sunday, which is just amazing how that worked out. It's like it was planned, which it is. And so we had our first session on Easter Sunday, and Joy was just so amazing and filling me in on some things that I wasn't quite aware of yet, like that I'm a peacock person. And she told me all about that.
A peacock person. Basically, I think this is a story about how dreams can come true in such actual visceral ways. And what was your wish list when you came to me, Tina?
My wish list?
Yeah, it was it the burdens?
So I was wanting to transmute and alchemize all of the repeating cycles of abuse throughout my whole family history.
And that's how I knew that you were a peacock person. Peacocks are revered in so many major religions because of their ability to eat poisonous plants and venomous snakes and spiders and alchemize that venom into the glory of their feathers. Peacock people incarnate into a particular lineage or societal niche to alchemize poisonous behaviors. And as soon as I hear people talking about how difficult they've had it, often they're clearing for the collective. And Tina was the most magnificent example of that. You were incredible. Sorry, carry on.
Oh no, thank you so much for that. Yeah, so she informed me about that, and how we were going to go forth and clear that whole thing for me. We stood before the Akashic records, and oh my gosh, it is just so amazing.
You doubled your lung functioning when
Oh
you
my gosh.
transformed those burdens.
I increased my heart space, which I didn't think would ever be possible because I just have so much capacity for love. And then a while back, I had this envisionment of Lovetopian Falls and Lovetopia and this feeling of Lovetopia in this other dimension. And it hit me. And then whenever I was with Joy on our second session, she took me to Lovetopian Falls, and I literally merged with it, became
that
with
was
it.
the third session. That was because it was you had a reward life trinity of sessions. And the first one you put down the burdens. The thing about peacock people is they don't realize often that they have enormous support. You have. You stood on the shoulders of your ancestors. They had been evolving toward you. And so your support was legion. And I understand why you went straight to that third session, but there was what happened in the second one? There was we put you in your reward life. That's
yes,
right.
Before the Akashic records.
Yes. You place down all of the burdens because it's time. For all peacock people around the world, everybody who has come to clear for the collective, for their lineage, for it's time for so many of them to lay down the burden that they have carried so far and offer it up and emerge forward. And that's what you did. And when you put that burden down, you had carried so much so far that you had Herculean muscles. It was your spiritual gymnasium.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, was Tina originally just coming to you for sessions?
Yeah.
And okay, you see, I missed that whole part. I thought it was just a random encounter.
No. She came to me to clear generational traumas and to be put in her reward life.
And I didn't even realize that was why I was coming to her.
No, of course not.
But I was drawn to her from your show with her, and then it just
And for people who don't want to get the whole deep dive into Joy, there's several broadcasts that you can go back and check out on the channel. And for sure, everybody should check out the 12-hour stream from the day that I felt that I wanted to create something to give people something else to focus on. And she did this little sound attunement for people that knocked out everybody's electronics. It was so great. But it's still recorded. But it was like an amazing, like just the energy that she started to open that up. Everything started crashing. She's like, work with me, people. And she's just a phenomenal individual. And you can take a deep dive back into all the past broadcasts with her. So Tina, you were going to her for these sessions, and on the third session or so she brought you to this Lovetopia, and this is part of your reward life then?
Yes. Yeah. So I was she put me there completely. I could see it all before me, and I became one with the falls, with gratitude, Lovetopian Falls. And she asked me if she could be my first recipient of the Lovetopian Falls and gratitude, and I was like, absolutely. And I just poured it out to her, and she felt so amazing.
It was Lovetopia had been something that you had envisaged and in your mind 3 years before you told me, and in that third session you became it. It wasn't a place or a feeling or anything. You became it. And to make it clear, because this probably sounds extremely weird, because it is, I'm a shaman. The reason I'm able to do what I do is because of what flows through me. I am a flute the master plays, which is why Hank was saying I make strange noises that sometimes blow out electronics, but also blow out blockages. And I'll do some of those, but right, yeah. So you became your vision, and it was the most glorious thing I'd ever seen. We began that the entire session was a shamanic journey. There wasn't any of me in it. It was just we entered and we went straight in, and I don't remember what they did because it's not my business, but I remember you genuflecting before the falls, and your ancestors were lined up as far as the eye could see on either side of you, and you were in the center of it. Oh, that's right. And then as you moved toward the falls, the land that was dark, that was behind you, became light. It was so beautiful, and it was you transforming just your entire. Oh. and then you reach these wonderful waterfalls, triple falls, and the line suddenly became a circle that went all the way around, and you stood in the middle of this circle, and you became everything that you dreamed of, and it was amazing. And you turned around and you looked at me, and I'd just come through this death portal. Well, I hadn't really. I had this insane adventure upstairs. Management told me to open a portal for Christ consciousness on the equinox in Mount Shasta, and I went there, and super weird things happened. And I was told I was going to die on the mountain, and I thought I was. And during the portal. Afterwards, I took a selfie with my mates, and my pupils had turned into crosses. It was very freaky. I'm going, okay, this is an interesting side effect of Christ consciousness that I wasn't anticipating or expecting. I'm absolutely not available for martyrdom or anything like that, but thank you very much. And like, but it was such a traumatic journey. I literally walked death every single day with death, and everything that happens to me, it doesn't affect me. What flows through me is unassailable. I am basically a timeshare for Ascended Masters, very exclusive membership, and that's unassailable. But I'm not unassailable, and I was assailed in every direction as dark forces. I'm just going to say it, tried to take me out, so that I'm not able to do this work. But you know what? The light will always, always overcome the dark. I mean, all of the darkness in the world can't extinguish even one tiny candle flame. And I held on to that one tiny candle flame, and then I came back, and upstairs management sent me to do this session for you. And when you turned that Lovetopia on me, all of the parts of me that were still left on the mountain and in scary places, and they returned. I realized, well, no wonder I'm having difficulty functioning. I'm not actually present. and in the light of what you became, I
received.
Yeah. On the mountain, I had been departiculated. I had felt like I'd been departiculated, and then I was particulated again. And it was the most beautiful, beautiful, yeah.
So Joy, while you were saying this, sorry, Hank.
Oh no, go ahead.
While you were saying this, again, even though I've talked to you about this for a couple of weeks now, it just completely occurred to me that you went there for this, to Shasta for this Christ consciousness and this equinox. And here I am coming to you the first time I looked at your stuff, and it's on Good Friday, and then Easter Sunday is my first meeting with you. And then you're like,
Christ
It's
consciousness.
almost like you're resurrected with your pieces of yourself. Yeah,
Yes,
isn't that
yes,
amazing?
yes.
Yeah.
And I finally completed that death portal exactly 2 months later. It started on the 17th of March and it ended on the 17th of May, which was a couple of days ago. And now I am back.
Yes.
And I'm back in the game. I'm back in the game, and I'm back. I fully realize I'm still here. So clearly, God wants me to be here, and that means that I will be able to raise the money for my jaw, and I'll be able to continue my work, and everything is just going to be fine because I'm still here, and I feel amazing on the other side of this. This only happened yesterday, where I'm not only returned. You returned me to myself. And then I spent I don't know how long ago our last session was. Mum, I don't know. How long ago was it?
It was about a month ago.
A month, that feels right. So I did nothing that whole month, and I credit that with where I am now, because it's one thing to return, but it's another thing to what to do with all the trauma. And I am an expert on clearing trauma and reprogramming the brain so that your memories can't hurt you anymore. And as Hank says, I'm best known for teaching how to clear stress in 3 minutes or less. I'm amazing at it, because if I wasn't, I'd be dead.
Good motivation, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And so, but sometimes you just have to let yourself be, I returned to myself, but I had to find a reason to stay, because there's a lot of pain for. I had to just be and allow myself radical self-nurturing. That's my message. Radical self-nurturing will get you through anything. It will. It will help you get through anything. That's true.
And the ability to receive contribution from yourself and from others is such an important thing, because that's one of the things that holds up healing the most, is people's inability or unwillingness to receive from somebody. Out of all the weird points of view we have about, oh, if they give me this, then I have to do something back. It's just, no, be the space of receiving. And that is that's the energy I get with Lovetopia Falls. It's this energy that holds a space for you to receive contribution with no expectation at all from you.
Yeah.
And just allow yourself to be nurtured by that flow.
Yeah. And learn to ask. To ask.
When
Jesus went around saying, huh?
Like, as you said, learn to ask. I got goosebumps when you said that. Like, just the willingness to say, get out of yourself to get into yourself, and be like, hey, I could use some contribution now, please. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And Jesus himself went around saying, ask, you'll receive, seek, you'll find, knock, the door will open. You don't have to lean on the doorbell, just ask.
No, I know that can't be true. They didn't have doorbells back then.
Exactly. But Jesus did say all those things. Yeah. He was not yanking our chain. He was fair dinkum about it.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah. So and the reason that he said those things is because planet Earth is a free will zone. They're not actually supposed to help unless we ask. So asking is important. And I was fantastic at asking upstairs management for absolutely everything. It's not quite so marvelously good at asking humans, because that's a bit alarming. But I got over myself a long time ago when I realized I spend my life helping others because it feels good to me. I am robbing other people of giving to me. That's just rude. That's just wrong. And so I ask. I have a vow which is really hard and scary and awful, and I hate it sometimes, but I'm done it. I'm doing it. I am it. Authenticity, transparency, and vulnerability. Because otherwise people tend to put you on a pedestal and whatnot, and you need to people need to see what's real, and what's real is sometimes things just suck, and sometimes you are getting attacked by dark forces, and sometimes things are really scary, and sometimes UFOs are real, and sometimes and you just have to decide, are you gonna not talk about any of the real things where you're all messy, and so perpetually with this toxic positivity, yes, I'm lovely, and plant a smile on. That's not helpful anymore. That's not appropriate anymore. We're coming up to, we are now in really important times. We've got to be real with each other. We've got to be there for each other, and we've got to learn to if we're always giving and we're not receiving, then we're blocking what needs to be a beautiful energetic flow. You can't do one and not, can't give what you haven't got.
And one word that comes to me as we talk about Utopia Falls too, in the Pakokuna tradition of South American shamanism, they have this concept called Aini, which means divine reciprocity. And it really is about being in the flow in all moments. You just keep the energy flowing where it's going to be a service to expand consciousness and not hold on to it. And to your point, if you're not willing to receive something that somebody's willing to gift, that is like creating a heaviness, a friction where that energy is stopping. And so what would it take for us to be in complete space of receiving and contributing to one another? Really, it's about shifting from the kingdom of me to the kingdom of we.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is really timely for us to have this conversation today, because tomorrow is the first ever International Being You Day. And so, like,
Oh my
what would it
gosh.
take for people to really start to step into their authenticity and being the medicine gift that they have to share with the world, and start to
Yes.
express that without getting caught up with being judged for what they're putting out?
Yes.
Ooh, I love that question. Please answer in the comments. Yeah, I want to know everybody's
beautiful.
thoughts. Yeah.
And so with the Lovetopia Falls, like, now that you've had a taste of this energy, in a way, it feels as though like you've been introduced to this energy and you became that energy. And now are you able to just like going into that to offer it to people as you interact with people and do sessions for people? Is that like on tap, on demand for you?
Yes. Yeah. It's always flowing to me. It's not even like on demand. It's just continuous. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. It feels
So yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that you're that in that flow, have you noticed things in your life shifting, even if you're not focusing on it?
Everything.
Everything's around you shifting. Wonderful. And
Everything.
how are people reacting, responding, interplaying back to
I
you now
mean,
that you're in this flow?
they're mirroring it right back to me. It's like it's everybody's just like being authentic to themselves. Everybody is showing the love that they have within themselves to me, because we are all one. And it's just been absolutely divine.
And so, like, just being in your presence, that is kind of for people who are watching, can they tap into that now, or is there something that you could direct them to have a taste of that for themselves, so they can start to be this energy in the world? Because with this true authenticity, if everybody were showing up as their true authentic self, what world would we live in? It would be in a world of unlimited possibilities, instead of like the harmony through conflict reality of the earth that it's currently experiencing. What would it take to shift into this space of being in the flow and contributing and receiving from everything and everyone around you?
Yes. So to answer the question, anybody watching this is going to feel the vibration of this. Absolutely.
What do people do if they resist it? Like, if there's like, oh, I don't know about that energy, is there any tool that we could inspire people with, that if they feel a resistance to being in this energy, what could they do to be in the space of really receiving it without judgment?
So I would say the best thing that they could do is to have a different thought, one that's going to serve them, because the thought that they're currently having isn't serving them, because they're thinking, oh, well, this isn't, who knows if this is real? Who knows if this isn't? So changing it to what if it is, and knowing that even if they aren't willing to receive it while they're in a session with me, just asking themselves to, in their mind, put them back to the time when they were in this moment, in the session, and they can access that feeling right then and there.
Cool. And what does a session, like, you worked with Joy already, what does it, like, when you're intentionally, like, you're just walking around being the energy now, but if you were to work with somebody directly with this, what does that look like exactly?
Well, it depends on how I am doing it. So I do the sound healing, and while I'm doing the sound healing, I'm also doing a meditation, and my energy is just filling up the room, along with the sound healing, along with the meditation, along with their own space, where they are in their own space and their own mind. And then whenever it's just me and one client, it looks like, them just sitting there, or laying down on my table, and me being at the bottom of their feet and imagining from the top of their head all the way down, and they just feel the continuous flow cycling right up their feet, out the other foot, and it's just so beautiful. And for me, whenever I'm actually doing it, I just close my eyes because I love feeling it too while it's coming out even more concentrated, I guess you would say. Um, and that's what I did for Joy. I just closed my eyes and I just let it flow right to her because she was so ready to receive it.
And I think that one of the biggest things that I'm picking up on too is you were both fully present in that moment.
Yes,
Well, and because of that, you
I
loved
wasn't.
Toby and her. Well, but that's where I was going with this.
I was.
You were fully present with her in that moment, though, and that held the space for all of her to start coming back. This was like a soul retrieval on steroids.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That's wonderful.
It
And what was
was.
your well, you kind of already touched on it, Joy, but what was your experience really being in the space of receiving it? It sounds like it took some time for it to completely unfold for
Yeah,
you.
it did. Yeah, a month.
But she was able to start feeling different parts
Oh,
of her
instant,
body right
yeah.
then and there.
Exactly. Oh, as it was coming to me, just wild tingling, top to bottom, and I felt that whole departiculating, reparticulating thing again. But I felt myself returning to myself, and then I said, "Well, that's lovely. Bye bye. I'm going to lay down now." Because the session, of course, was complete. She'd received her gift. I've seen a lot of destiny gifts come through me
I
to
like
bless
that.
the world.
Destiny gifts.
Yeah, it's what happens with peacock people when after they've been activated, they receive a destiny gift, and like, this was the most beautiful I've ever seen, darling. It was the most beautiful I've ever seen. You became your vision, and it filled the world, and it brought me back to myself so that I could. Before, I wasn't able to process anything because I wasn't present. And so many people in the world aren't present because it's a hard world to be in sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. What else would you like to share? As it doesn't seem that we have questions. People are probably just absorbing the energy and kind of, is there, well, we'll go two ways with this. One, you mentioned these destiny gifts, and whether you're a peacock person or not, everybody has a medicine gift to share with the world. So
Oh
starting with
yeah.
Joy, the magical wish granter, what would you say to people who haven't discovered that gift? What would be a tool for them
So
to
just for
really
a moment,
start?
right now, don't think about tools. Don't think about anything. Just for a moment right now, come fully present into who you are, where you are, and breathe. And soften your awareness to notice that you're not alone in the space. Maybe you can sense your guides. I wonder if you can feel that hand on your shoulder. That's clear sentience, clear feeling. Or maybe if you're clairvoyant, clear seeing, you'll see a light or a color or an image. Or when you ask, is that true? Is there really somebody here? And if you hear an answer, that's clear audience. And notice when you ask, you'll ask a question in one part of your head, but the answer comes in around another part. Listen, is that true? Yes or no? Perhaps you're clear cognizant, clear knowing, and the answer comes as a deep knowing. Yeah, this is a crazy woman, but that sounds absolutely like I already knew that's true. And as you soften into the awareness of the guides, into the awareness that you're not alone, I wonder if you have been thinking or wondering if you are a peacock person, if you are one of those who chose to come here to clear not just for yourself, but for the collective. Peacock people all have certain things in common. Most of them have done it real hard during childhood. They've never really fitted in. They've always been the square peg in the round hole, and they've known from very young that they're here to do something far greater than live a small life. And they're right. And they stand at the negative patterns and behaviors that they see around me, and they say, not from this point. thou shalt not pass, and they break generational curses that have been handed down from the father to the son 7 times over. These people stand and go, not through me, and they clear their entire lineage or their entire niche.
And that is really potent work. It's amazing.
So I want to just allow it to soften just even a little bit further, and I'm going to make some sounds while you tune into who it is that works and walks with you. Because when you have come to do this work, my darling, you get big help. You ready? Listen to your guides and guardians. Listen to your ancestors. They have messages and gifts for you.
Thank you so much, Joy. That's amazing. And Tina, maybe you can just tap in really intentionally to that Lovetopia and just give everybody an experience of that energy flowing over them to help integrate what Joy
Yeah,
just
so
did.
absolutely. In fact, the whole time she was doing it,
You were already
I was
flowing?
doing it. So we can do that in silence for a few moments if
Sure.
you would like. Okay.
Sure. So everybody just receive. Just for a moment. And just running a clearing too, if you feel that there is a resistance to receiving, what energy, space, consciousness, and choice could your body, being, and beyond be to receive this contribution, to receive this attunement, to receive everything that we have brought to you today with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that, destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And what beings of light, teammates, spirit guides, all the contributors you have that have been with you from your entire ancestral lines, because it's not just traumas, there's immense ancestral gifts as well. All the places that cut you off from receiving from the infinite universe around you, from the infinite aspects of divinity around you, destroy and create that as well. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And everything that would hold you back from being able to know, be, receive, and express your unique medicine gifts into this world, to be an advocate of change, to be part of the contagion of consciousness that will help this planet move forward into becoming the golden planet. Everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, be, receive, and express that into this world, destroy it and create it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Wonderful. We could just stay on this stream all day now and just sit here in the energy.
Well, the good news is that the stream continues as long as you choose to receive it.
And you can always rewind too. Maybe we'll just take this one part and we'll just loop it for people.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Yeah.
Yay.
And now an invitation for all of you, if you're watching now, or if you're watching this on a replay, just for a moment, allow that energy to come through you from the universe and take whatever your medicine gift is, even if you don't know what it is yet, and contribute it to the stream. Contribute to everybody else that's watching. You are as part of this as well, because it is the kingdom of we, not the kingdom of me, not the kingdom of Joy, not the kingdom of Tina. We are in this together. Source is all there is, all at once in the ever-present moment of now, and allowing the energy of the universe to flow through you to take your medicine gift that could be a contribution to your fellow travelers and allow that to go through the ethers of the internet and interact with all the people that will ever watch this in the future and that are watching this right now.
And even those who aren't that need it.
And even those that aren't need it, let the energy flow out to all of creation, all aspects of being, both known and unknown.
Yes, yes. Fill yourself with this and give from the overflow so that, like Tina Marie, you become a gushing, glorious waterfall of love.
Ooh, what would it take for all of us to be gushing, glorious waterfalls of love?
Willingness.
Willingness and allowance.
And non-judgment.
Yeah. It is none of your business what other people think.
Yes.
What energy could you be to change this world?
Yes.
Yes. So if you need more support, my website is experiencejoy.com. If you go there, I will send you a 15-minute video that shows you how to relax instantly, keep a clear head no matter what's going on, and clear stress from your body.
Yeah. And if you want a one-on-one experience with the Lovetopia, we got Tina's Facebook here. You can reach out to her on her Facebook page. But word on the street is she might have a profile page at Emergence of Being down the road. So you might be able to connect with her by the time you watch this if you're watching on a replay. And my website is my name. So hanksuttala.com if you want to connect with me and all the crazy shenanigans I get into.
And you do. He's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm actually in my office. You can see all the, well, you can't because my bed is there, but I have 21 crystal bowls, 500 forks, and whether you are in person or virtual, Tina can attest, the sound healing travels. You might miss out on a few harmonic things, but a frequency is a frequency, and you're going to resonate with it, and it's going to help balance whether you're in person or not.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Any final, because it feels really good with that energy, just any final thoughts or final words of inspiration before we call it a day? Well, last call too, if you're watching now live and you do have a question, if you do have a comment, now's the time, because if we do get a question, we will follow the energy and go wherever you guys would like us to go. But if you're just receiving, that's cool too. Because I can see you watching. I can see viewership stats, so I know people are out there. Hopefully nobody was driving during that. No.
Oh my gosh, I hope not.
Spirit would have your back.
Yeah.
Spirit would totally have your back.
It's true.
But Joy, was there, if you were to leave everybody with just one final thought or energy or anything, what would it be?
If you're still here, it's because you're supposed to be. If you're still here, it's because you were born for these times. If you're here and you're watching this, you are so much more supported than you know, and everything's going to be okay.
Everything's going to be okay. Summed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how about you, Tina?
I would just have to echo what Joy said, because she said it absolutely perfectly. With that's it. Just if you're here, there's a reason why you're here. Settle in with yourself, check into who you are and what your belief and value system is, and act and behave from that place of authenticity and joy and love and peace and thankfulness.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna do a hard ask, because I've just been saying ask and you'll receive. It's not a hard. It's a hard for me ask. No, cancel clear. That's not true. That is absolutely not true. If you want to help me keep my voice in the world, I need a new bottom jaw and treatments that I don't have money or insurance for. And it's very difficult for me to talk and tone and do cancel clear. It is, I'm feeling increasingly hopeful about continuing my work here with the treatments that I need. And my dear friend Dennis has set up a GoFundMe campaign, and everything that is contributed makes me feel so supported and wanted and grateful.
And needed.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that. I should have had that link ready, but I didn't, because I wasn't thinking of that. But if
Hey,
you have the
listen,
link,
I do. I'll pop it on. I will. Do you want me to pop it on here or?
if you send it to me, I'll put it in the comments, and I'll
Thank
also
you.
put it up on screen, because I
Thank
I even knew about this, but I wasn't fully thinking about that.
Yeah.
I'm on your Facebook page now, like scrolling through. I'm like, I'm sure you would post it, but you don't post it a lot because it's not.
Yeah. Here
I
it
remember
is.
seeing it. You have it.
I do. I just posted it in the private chat.
Okay.
It's some things are easier to ask for than others. But I'm excited because it's not just I really feel like what's going to happen is somebody who knows somebody will say, oh my God, I can print her a 3D jaw, or oh my goodness, I know a benefactor who wants to sponsor all of your treatments so that she can talk without.
Yes. Joy, you were just saying, and it was such a perfect example, because whenever I was saying about coming from your authentic self, and you were saying things that you canceled and cleared right in that moment, because you knew that thought wasn't going to carry on to something that was going to benefit you. That wasn't a valuable thought to you. And so even though it was a authentic thought for first, you refuted it, you transmuted it, cleared it, and then you changed it to how you want to feel.
Yes.
And that's the magic. That's the key.
And
So
that's showing up. If you can
yes,
show up and you can catch
consciously.
yourself in those moments, you can start to shift the things that don't serve you. Because it really comes down to this, and this was going to be my parting words. My favorite book is called "Being You, Changing the World" by Dr. Dane Here. And so, be you, change the world. In order for you to be you and change the world, you got to show up for every single moment and be present. And if you show up and for every single moment you're present, you will notice the things that need to happen and that you can do to facilitate the greatest change, not just for yourself, but for the world. Because again, kingdom of we, not the kingdom of me.
Yes. And I thank you for that. I decided I'm going to force myself to show up and be accountable. And I opened myself to inspiration, and I got that I'm to be TikTok's fairy godmother. And I'm going, what? These are
I started TikTok too.
kids. But
I was like,
just,
yeah, I resisted it, but I have one now.
I couldn't imagine that I had anything to say to these kids, and then I went on and I saw this beautiful young girl about 15 getting a hard time because show your tits, that go, and just standing up for herself and going, no, just because I'm pretty and blonde and stuff, and of course I jumped in and supported her, and I thought, oh damn, I can't leave these kids, So I decided that moment I would become the TikTok fairy godmother, and I am committed to doing one video a day to empower any of my godchildren who just need a fairy godmother. Faery, fairy, not Tinkerbell. Think Tolkien. So I'm showing up with a TikTok video that will help you live more joyfully and less stressfully in 3 minutes or less. I promise. Don't take my word for it. Give it a go. See what you think. And ironically, Tina, today's TikTok video is about the most powerful thing you can do, which is a quick way to show how you can change the thoughts in your head, which is what I was doing.
Perfect.
I know, right? It's just also synchronistic.
Yeah,
yes.
I'll have to look up your TikTok. I only have like a couple videos, but I'm getting a hang of it. But however you want to show up in the world, however you can, be present, be you, and ask what
and commit.
And commit. Where could I show up today that could create the greatest potency and change? I was talking with Casey earlier when we did Stir Crazy Shamans. He got from Spirit, you need to go online, you need to do live videos. Like, what would it take for you to really show up and not have a point of view about being judged for all the craziness that we truly be while we do these live streams? Because otherwise I never would have started doing any of this. And that's for years I tried to do video, and it wouldn't be 100% perfect. And then I would never post it. And what if perfection is not what is required, but just authenticity? Yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, all the mistakes that you're going to make. What if all of that is also the medicine? And a quick story that I thought about with that, I studied at Lilydale and I did public mediumship, and Spirit told me, you're going to go to this person and everything you say is going to be 100% wrong. And I'm like, WTF, Spirit, what are you talking about? But so I went to this person, everything I said, they're like, nope. And I'm like, okay, well, at least Spirit gave me a heads up, so I wasn't completely judging myself for not getting it right. But afterwards, this person came up to me, and they looked, even though I was a student, they looked at me as a professional in the field, and they said, if you can have a bad day and still do this, maybe I can do it too. So even the fails the things that we look at that didn't turn out perfectly, even that could be a medicine for somebody. If you can just be authentic in your unique voice in that moment, it is the medicine that the world needs.
Yes.
Yes, you were being there to serve him,
Yep.
that person, even by
Yep.
getting it wrong.
Even by getting it
It was
100% wrong, it was
serving. Yes,
inspiration needed for him to start to step into developing his unique gifts.
yes,
Because you don't have to have it perfect. And maybe that's a huge takeaway for today. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you.
yes. And
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's everything good with that. You are you for a reason. There's nobody shines your light like you. And it's okay. Not everybody has to like you. I thought what fixed me and thinking that I needed everybody to like me was thinking about who I'd be if everybody liked me. Who would I be if Nazis thought I was marvelous? Oh,
well, and the people that trigger you, that's actually one of my best friends triggers me the most. And it is actually a relationship or creationship that reflects back to me all the places where it's like, okay, well, this has triggered me for a reason. Where do I need to do some work? And it's a beautiful thing. But to be able to be in the space of being in the allowance of being triggered, looking at my own stuff and moving through it and, transforming it into light, it's like so huge. Awesome.
Yay,
So
Hank,
beautiful.
you're a legend.
Yes,
I'm
you
so
are.
grateful that you played with us today and let us share this story, because it's a trippy story, and it feels a really important one.
Yeah. And for all those watching, please take a moment, share this video. And when I say share it, I'm not just saying share it on your timeline, but truly think who would be able to receive the most from this, and like invite them. Don't share it. Send the message and say, hey, I truly feel that if you watch this, it's going to make a huge difference in your life. Invest in you and take the time just to watch this quick video. Invite people.
And
You can
leave
share too.
comments.
Yeah.
Yes,
Help us with
I
the
want to know
algorithm.
about your experiences.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Because, really, you're not going to leave us hanging out here with weird stuff, are you? I'm talking.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah,
So, you can't say anything that would shock us. Can they maybe fast forward to the point where the story starts?
We could do that. I might even trim the video and just have it be right where that really starts, because it was all kind of like introductions, and
nobody knew what we were doing.
no, well, I didn't even know what we were doing until we got
none
there.
of us did.
And then once we got there, we're like, wow, man, this is some good shit. And shit's not a bad word. It's an acronym. It stands for spiritual, human, and transition. So even when we swear, we actually mean it with intention for changing a possibility. Here we go. That's one of my favorite acronyms. So you have to go through your shit. It's the fertilizer for you to grow blessings for yourself and the world with the kingdom of we. But thank you for being here. And please, what invitation could you be to change the world? That is a wonderful question to leave today with.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So until next time, everyone, thank you so much for being here, and check out the websites. I believe I will go ahead and update the description. Make sure Tina's website is listed there. If you need more one-on-one type of things, all of us work with people, and you don't have to be in person. Thank you, COVID. No. Thank you, COVID, for opening the world up for being able to receive virtually. And COVID, by the way, is another acronym: create opportunities via intuiting divinity.
Yeah.
And if you look at COVID as a verb, like where
I know, right? Oh my God, write that
You've
down.
heard that before, right?
No.
I've had this for a long time. COVID it's a verb. Create opportunities via intuiting divinity. Like what?
Amazing.
Yeah. So
that's my Facebook status. Fantastic.
Yeah, Spirit gave me that. They're like, sit down, we're going to give you an acronym. And then Ego Hank sits down, and I'm like trying to figure out. They're like, no, dumb, we'll give it to you. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they gave it to me. It's like, oh yeah, that's really good. So what if that could be a verb? And what if you could COVID every day and truly create hand in hand with divinity, with Lovetopia Falls, what all that stuff? It's just like, what invitation could you be to change the world if you were fully aligned and congruent with the totality of who you are?
I just had the most amazing experience of watching as you were speaking, seeing the COVID picture that we know what it looks like, changing and transforming under your words.
Yeah. Especially share that acronym. Invite people to use that and shift our points of view about all the trauma, the drama, and the group soul loss that we've experienced because of this to what is the bless and the mess, and what inspiration could COVID truly be to the world to change it.
Yes.
And into the golden planet it could truly be.
Yes. And and transforming your COVID thinking, which is what that was representing, is a big part of it.
Yes, and it's so exciting, the golden world. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Oh,
But
hey,
now,
there's a portal. Oh, there's a portal coming up. The blood moon on the 26th. Extremely potent, fully eclipsed supermoon that's going to be visible for like at 4:14
on the 26th.
Yeah. So my apprentice and I are going to the Grand Canyon, and we are taking prayers. So if you want to be included in those prayers, put your name in the comments.
And
Awesome.
blessed be too, because Joy found this beautiful moonstone for me from what I had on in Lovetopian Falls.
It was
And
how close of a match is it?
it's literally perfect. It's literally perfect to my vision. Like I had this on whenever I was in Lovetopian Falls.
Beautiful.
And now she's gonna take it with her
Yes,
to the Grand Canyon and fill it with the energy of that beautiful flower moon and the lunar eclipse.
After our last session, upstairs management sent me down to a crystal shop and walked me up to this, which is just exactly what you saw here. Oop. Doesn't want to be on my forehead. It's yours, all right. Yeah.
Well, you'll take good care of it till you get it to Tino.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's going to be charged right up, mate. There's going to be crystal grids and sacred geometry, and it's going to be a part of a whole big thing.
Awesome. And for real, we'll wrap up this time. Thank you, everyone, for being present with us. Take advantage tomorrow of International Being You Today. How could you have more of you tomorrow than any day before? Because there's going to be people around the planet all focused on the same thing. What could I be today to have more of me? So tomorrow is a great day to get started, and then rewatch this video and especially the energy attunement and the energy of being with the falls and the clearings, and have that be a huge contribution to you tomorrow as you step into your potency to be in the kingdom of we.
Yes, be you. No one else is better qualified.
Awesome. Until next time, everyone, thank you so much, and we look forward to our next stream together.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today for the show. The Sonic Shaman is part of the Emergence of Being Contributor Network. Visit emergenceofbeing.com to learn about all the contributors and learn about our services and upcoming events. Please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. You can contribute to the show by supporting our efforts and sharing our content with those you care about and those who need it most.